other series, but I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. So let's first and foremost look at our 4 scents for today's video. First up, we have French Connection UK Friction. This and the second one I received as gifts. I've already opened them and I've already tried them, but I'll go over the notes and give my impressions. The second is 360 Coral by Ellis. This one's a 50 milliliter, this one's a 100 milliliter. So there are many in this 360 series. This is the Coral. I'd heard good things about it, so did my friend. She purchased both of these for $20 each. Good price on the 50 milliliter Perry Ellis Coral 360. Not as good on the French Connection UK Friction. I think you can get that cheaper online, but it doesn't matter. Stop rolling. Why? Okay, I'm gonna have to. There we go. Next is a designer brand. It's so good. It is very versatile, but it is primarily a summer scent. I got a tester and saved about $5. It's the same because of how weird the cap is, and that is Coach Dreams Sunset. And finally, this one, I'm actually not sure why I purchased this. I think I meant to take it out of my cart, but forgot because I have tested Olympea and I didn't love it. And this is an Olympea twist by a brand that is super cheap, but had lots of really good reviews. So I was like, what the heck? It's cheap. I need another thing to put in my cart, but I swear I meant to take it out. Anyways, it is New Brand's Master of Pink Gold. There's Master of Pink, there's Master of Black, no, there's Master of Gold, there's Master of Black, and there's Master of Pink Gold. They're all different, don't confuse them. So it's supposed to be an Olympea twist. I'm hoping it's like, has less of the musty and more of the other stuff that Olympea has, because I don't like that musty. I mean, a little goes a long way, particularly on my skin. I'm gonna talk about that a little more. So fingers crossed. But yeah, so these are the 4 that I will be reviewing and discussing in this video. I'll also be discussing similar fragrances and comparing and contrasting and so forth. So let's start with I guess maybe the French Connection UK Friction and go from there. So, starting with French Connection Friction for her. Like I said, I got this and the Perry Ellis's gift, so I opened them up when I received them and tried them. That was about 2-3 weeks ago. The notes for this one are coconut, spun sugar, vanilla, red berries, apple blossom, honeysuckle, musk, jasmine, sandalwood, amber, woodsy notes, and vetiver. So those are the notes. It sounds pretty good, right? I'm a gourmand girly. One of the video series I'm going to be starting will be my search for the ultimate gourmand. So I'm always looking for summer-friendly gourmands. Let's open it up, spray it, and I'll tell you what I think. looks like. Very cute. I actually really, really like the bottle. It's got a good grip. So let's take a tester and try it out. Really loving the texture on the bottle. So like I said, I did already try to sample this, so I'm still going to give my impressions based on what I smelled today, but I'll also discuss what I thought of it, my first impressions. Real blast of alcohol at the top, like really, really strong. Which you know immediately signifies that there's not much actual perfume in there. It's much. One, they used a poor quality. They used a lower quality, a cheaper perfume carrier. So the perfumer's alcohol that they used, not the best, and probably a low concentration of actual scent. Still waiting for the alcohol to dissipate. I get something a bit coconutty, a bit sweet, a bit creamy even. A lot of people online said they smelled pineapple. I was worried about that, but thankfully I don't smell any. I think it might be the red berries mixing with maybe the apple blossom to give it that kind of vibe. Because pineapple notes can be quite sharp. Lime and pineapple, I find, can be a bit overwhelming for my chemistry. It's a nice scent, but I swear it's a skin scent from the beginning. It has almost no projection. The longevity is dreadful. It is very cheap, but I feel like the scent profile is quite nice. And if it had more staying power and more punch, more of that projection, just more, this could be a really great scent. Like, why make a nicely balanced perfume to then water it down so that all of those nuances get lost? I will say it does appear it has improved from the first time that I tried it, so perhaps this needs to mature, maybe needs to sit a bit, I don't know. But it's a little unfortunate because I do like the scent, but I think you'd have to overspray, and even then it sits quite close to the skin. But it has improved a touch in the last 2-3 weeks, so fingers crossed that maybe by next summer it'll be wearable. I don't know, but you can get it for very cheap, and it is quite nice. I do get a touch of coconut, a touch of this 360 coral. There is the 360 coral. The cap just comes off like this and it's inside, and you can see there's this cardboard around here. I imagine the 100 milliliter might fit into the same sized container, but then they don't put the cardboard there, so I do appreciate that though. It's good for transport, I guess, right? I actually really do like the design for some reason. It reminds me of cute little top. I like it. Let's get a tester, spray it, and try it out. Ooh, nice, good atomizer. Sprays really nice and firm. So the notes for this one are, as we're waiting for the alcohol blast to dissipate, at the top, pear, peach, bergamot, apple, and pink pepper. At the heart, jasmine, peony, and lily of the valley. And finally at the base, tonka bean, musk, cashmere wood, and ember. The top notes come in very bold and fast. As soon as the alcohol dries down, I get apple, pink pepper right away. The peach is also there a bit, but the bergamot and the pear kind of are in the background, but I can tell they are probably there. But the initial blast was very much apple, pink pepper, maybe a touch of peach, so very fruity. But there's already something a little soapy going on as the fruitiness starts to fade, but that apple's still quite prominent. The florals start to come in. Now, while this has better projection and lasting power than the Friction, I still wouldn't say it's great, but I will say this one has also improved since I last tried it, so maybe these just needed to mature a bit. I'm surprised, but yeah, hey, there's been a notable improvement. Either that or maybe my nose was broken that day or something, I don't know. The hard notes are a little boring. There's nothing special going on with those florals, but I am interested to see how those base notes will develop because they didn't really have a chance. It became kind of a skin scent in the dry down before I got to smell those base notes when I last tried it. So I'm gonna leave this. We'll move on to the other two, and then I'll come back at the end and see how the dry down and the base notes have emerged. But this one's a bit better, a bit more expensive too, but again she got it for 20 bucks Canadian. I thought this was a good deal. The Friction UK. The Friction from French Connection UK. Not so much. I'm thinking, should we do the coach or should we do the dupe for Olympea? Let's do the dupe first. That one's a bit more complicated, and I'm very interested to see how that will dry down because Olympea, the dry down, is the part that I like least, so I want to give this one a chance to dry down. So this one's a blind react. Master of Pink Gold from New Brands. Again, super cheap. This was, I want to say 15 bucks Canadian. Very cheap. Just added something to get free shipping, and I swear I meant to swap it for something, but I guess I forgot. Anyways, it's meant to be a twist, so not 100% dupe, but a twist on Olympea. So I have a sample of Olympea, and I'll be testing them side to side to see how similar they are. Let's open this bad girl up. this being an Olympea twist. Come on. Gosh darn it. Ew. It looks like a barrel of oil. Oh, okay. I see, okay. I mean, it's not bad. It's a bit industrial, minimalist vibe. I feel like this would look good on a shelf, on a like stone shelf in a loft or something. But I don't hate it. Let's just clean this up. I'm going to try and label the ASMR sections so you can skip them or re-listen to them if you like. I know it's kind of a mixed bag here. Some people like ASMR, some people are just here for the perfumes. But if you do just like the perfume reviews, I highly suggest you check out my shorts because I do soft-spoken perfume reviews, quick 1 minute at most on there, listing the notes. So check that out if you're interested in that. So the notes for this are, oh my goodness, I'm sliding around. I don't know if it's top or middle or anything that wasn't listed. Green mandarin, lily, ginger, jasmine, salty vanilla, so that might be salt and vanilla, sandalwood, and ambergris. So that makes sense for an Olympea twist dupe kind of vibe. The others I'll post here on the screen, but don't make as much sense. So the alcohol blast wasn't as much as I was expecting, and I did get a sort of waft of the scent coming through the air. But there is something that's a bit artificial smelling. It's something a bit unpleasant at the top. I'm definitely getting that ambergris, but it's such a sharp, kind of musty ambergris that I don't know if I enjoy it, and that was the one thing I was hoping was toned down, but it seems this is more like pumping it up. And I was worried about the sandalwood too, because I'm one of those people that gets the pickle note from sandalwood very often. Let me grab my Olympea samples so I can smell them side by side, but I can already tell they're quite different. So I'll put the notes to the original Olympea up as well, and we'll just spray it again on here. The original Olympea is much more floral, and that ambergris really doesn't show up until the base. This is ambergris right at the top. Musty. It kind of smells like, I mean, there's definitely some florals coming out of pink gold as well, but what it does remind me of is opening up the washing machine at the end of the cycle. And so there's like a florally thing in the fabric softener that you used, but that wet clothing, like humid air smell is so prominent. They certainly are quite similar actually now that I smell them side by side. But I mean, this is much more artificial smelling, like it smells sharper and a bit astringent, like the smell. That's the only way I can describe it. It smells the way aspartame tastes a little bit. It's not awful. It's actually improving, and you know what? Maybe with some maturation, I'll give an update in the video. It might actually be quite good because now smelling them side by side, definitely very similar vibes. Very similar vibes. Olympea is much more it's got this sort of clean brightness. It smells like the morning air. There's a freshness. Well, there's like a dankness that comes from this one. But if you like that and you really want to bump up the ambergris, I think you might really like this one too. I'm like, yeah, I was a little skeptical, but now side by side they're actually quite, I would say like maybe 75% similar. So not like, oh my god, this is such an amazing close dupe, but very similar vibes. And you could definitely smell them side by side. They definitely smell like they're in the same family. The pink gold almost has a buttery kind of quality, like the butter, but in the fridge, like fridge air. You know, the smell of the air in the fridge and the freezer when there's like that like condensation coming out. So actually, I think as a super low cost alternative to Olympea, I'm pleasantly surprised. I honestly am. The original is obviously much better, brighter, fresher. It smells like the sea air. It's like the dark, sad sister of Olympia. Did Olympia have a dark, sad sister? Who knows? There's so many siblings in Greek mythology, it's possible. Yeah, and I'd say that the original has a lot more vanilla, making it so much smoother and creamier and nicer. Let's move on to the Coach one. There's a little tab to open it. Ooh, that's so smart. It's got a little tab to open it. Coach Dreams Sunset. Now, I did try this in store before I bought it, so I knew I was gonna like it. So gotta remove this little thing. It's got the weirdest atomizer in my opinion. It comes out there and you have to like push it down here. I pulled this up the first time I tried it. In the store, the woman looked at me like I was nuts. Let's get a tester strip, papa. That's why the testers, they sometimes don't come with caps, but this one doesn't really have a cap. It's just the atomizer. Oh, okay, that was one really good spray. I think we'll stop there instead of spraying two. So very little alcohol at the top. There's a touch that you're gonna have to wait for it to dissipate, but it's not bad. This is a 90 milliliter, not 100, by the way. Let's go over the notes. At the top is pear ice cream and bergamot. So we've kind of combined the pear and the lactonic into the pear ice cream there at the top. At the heart, magnolia and jasmine sambuck, and at the base, vanilla and tonka bean. Very simple, but I actually think there's some more going on in there they haven't revealed, because that base in particular, either that tonka bean is doing work or there's more going on there. Definitely get quite a powerful pear bergamot. They're not stingy with their bergamot and their pear. They really pumped it so you can smell it. I don't get much lactonic yet. There's a smoothness to the pear, but I wouldn't say that there's anything overtly lactonic at the top. The bergamot almost smells a little like apple too. Don't know why I'm getting a bit of apple off of the top. Alright, sorry everybody. All of my electronics decided to die one after the other, so it's been a hot minute since I was last talking, so everything's had a chance to dry down now, so let's discuss. So Sunset Dreams, or Dreams Sunset. The tonka bean, when it comes out, it's such a lovely dry down. I think the dry down makes Coach Dreams Sunset more than just a summer scent. It can work so well in the fall as well, in my opinion. But also just an all year round daily scent. It has something in the dry down that has that humid air, kind of almost earthy scent. It could be just a beautifully developed tonka bean, but I suspect there's more to it than that. It so, 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 so gorgeous. I can't recommend this enough. It's a great scent. It's quite nice. I think this really makes it versatile and makes it a great layering piece as well. So my overall thoughts. So the Friction by French Connection UK. It's actually dried down quite nice. I can still smell it. It's still very faint, but it's developed a little bit. It's creamier. I'm hoping that by next summer, or maybe in a few months, it'll have matured and gotten a bit more oomph. So not as bad as when I first tried it, but still upset that it has so much potential, but it's just a whisper in the wind. 360, still very, very apple forward. A slight soapiness in there as well. So if you hate all soapy notes, it does have a touch of that. You will smell that. This one's also improved from when I first got it, but neither are particularly impressive. This one and this one, they had potential, but I feel like they both kind of dropped the ball. This one's a touch better. I like the profile of this one more, but again, it's dissipates. This one's super cheap. Dupe of Olympea. The Master of Pink Gold. Pleasantly surprised. Not something I'll be wearing very often because again, it just has too much of the mustiness, but there is a vanilla I smell there, but it's almost like a butter vanilla. It's not a super sweet vanilla. It's a little too musty for me. There's not enough salty. There's something sharp that I think is meant to be the mandarin and the citrus, but they picked the wrong citrus notes in there. It's like it's fighting with the butteriness instead of mixing in with it. I think a softer bergamot or even something like a tangerine. I think it's too green, it's too sharp. But for $15, it is 75% similar to Olympea. Definitely similar vibes. If you like Olympea, I think you'll like this. It's just not as well balanced, and the ingredients do have that astringent, sharp, artificial edge to them. I may try some more from this brand to see how they do overall, because again, for such a cheapy brand, it has really good reviews. So, yeah. And then Coach Sunset Dreams, amazing. For Dream Sunset, why do I keep saying Sunset Dreams? I think Sunset Dreams just sounds better. Anyways, so Coach Dreams Sunset, a great year-round today, and I think it's got such a complex, lovely dry down that it works with lots of layering, and it has something unique. It's not a linear, boring fragrance, in my opinion. It doesn't smell generic, and I tried it on my skin and on the tester paper when I tried it in store, and I was blown away. It really matches my chemistry. So that's the last of my summer scents. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the fall and winter scents. I do have some videos planned for that, as well as my hunt for the ultimate gourmand, and I went on a bit of a sampling frenzy of some dupes, some Middle Eastern dupes, so also look out for reviews for that. Thank you for being here, and until next time, and this